What's up, guys? Just want to talk about a topic that's been looked upon for a while now. Just MMA fighters from America being at the top less and less over time. Um, you know, when the UFC first came around, there were obviously a lot of Brazilians and then a lot of Americans, pretty much how it was for a while. And near the top, that is a lot of what it is still is Brazilians, Americans, but now you have a ton of other people from really all over. But, Russia, you have a lot of English fighters now, Australians, people from Africa now, more and more. But what we're seeing less and less of is American fighters at the top. You know, Currently, I think right now, besides women's MMA, we have no American champions, which I don't know. Maybe it's happened before for a short period of time, but I'm not even sure. But yeah, we have no American champions besides Kayla Harrison, which is crazy. You wouldn't think that would be like that, but it's how it is right now. But I just want to look into some of the reasons, my opinion, why that is the case. Starting with, the first reason being, which is what everyone talks about, is pay. Obviously, like, as a whole, MMA fighters don't make a ton of money, even, for necessarily for people like in Europe or Australia. It isn't a super lucrative sport near the bottom, but even towards the top, you can make a lot more money playing soccer and stuff like that. But in America, like, you start in the UFC, say you make 20 and 20, which isn't terrible for starting the UFC. A lot of people, not a lot. I guess that's pretty much standard for starting now. Say you fight 3 times a year, which is pretty decent. So you're making, and say you win all those fights, you're making $120,000 minus taxes and fees. So you're making jack. You're making nothing. NFL rookie minimum salary is like just under $900,000 right now. I think it's a little over $840,000. NBA rookie salary $1.2 million. Like, the money is incomparable. But especially with the cost of living, like, it's hard to do. All of our athletes that are in the U.S. They want the big bucks. I mean, if you're gonna do something, you're gonna put your body on the line. Which, especially in MMA, you're putting your brain on the line, your body on the line. You are in NFL too, but like you want to get the money, which it really isn't there in America. But the second thing that I want to mention that I don't think people mention a lot. There's a couple of things people mention. It's the money. It's the toughness of people from the Caucasus regions, like fighting is bred into them. But I want to mention the traditional American sports like football, basketball, baseball, hockey even, and how it's kind of part of our culture. Like, in high school, I played football and lacrosse, and like tons of people play football. It's part of our American culture. You play football in high school. You're looking to go to a college. You're looking to go to Division I college, get a scholarship so you can go to school for free. And then maybe if you're really, really good, you can play college football and then go in the NFL. But a lot of people that are playing college sports will just use it as an avenue to get into a really good school to get, their degree to go to another job. MMA does not have that avenue, like, that's set in to where you go through like the direct path. You play youth sports, you play high school sports, like, say it's football, you go to college, you play college football, and then people in the NFL are scouting and they're looking, and then go play professional sports. There isn't that for MMA. The closest thing to it would be college wrestling, but that's how many at this point, how many college wrestlers are going to professional, like the UFC? Like, you saw Bo Nickel, and he hasn't done anything yet. He hasn't done well. Back in the day when the UFC first came around, you see a lot of college wrestlers, or former college wrestlers, I'd say, going over, but it's less and less like elite Division 1 college wrestlers. There definitely is some, but it just isn't. There's no direct path. It's not part of our culture like these other sports are. Like say someone's dad played football, they're gonna go play football, and they're gonna go to college play football. There isn't that with MMA whatsoever. It's a more risky path to go because you don't have the scholarship to go to school at the same time for like MMA like you would for wrestling or football or lacrosse or basketball or whatever. There's no exact direct path, which I think is it makes it really tough for Americans. It's part of our culture. It is more than it used to be, but it's not part of our culture in the same way that these other sports are. And then, like I kind of mentioned before, it's just the cost of living. Like in America, it is so expensive, especially where a lot of these good elite gyms are, like California, New York, Florida. Things are expensive to live. You go over to Russia or Brazil, like the money goes so much further. I was listening to Kai Borhalo talking about how it's so awesome being able to fight and make money through make dollars. Say he's making $100,000. How far does $100,000 go in Brazil? I don't know exactly, but I'll tell you right now, you live in like a king down there if you're making $100,000 up here. Same with Russia. I mean, like these not South Africa, just Africa in general. Like any of these other countries, most of them, you're making money. Say you make $100,000, it just goes so far, and like. It's gotten better. It was good, and then it was frowned upon, and it's good again. But like MMA has kind of looked like when it first came around is cage fighting, human cockfighting, whatever. It's frowned upon. A lot of like parents and stuff don't want their kids getting into it because it's dangerous and it's bad or whatever. It's not the same as it is in other places. But I do think this can change like within a short amount of time even. I think there will be more, like I think there already is more actually, of these kids that are starting from when, I don't want to say when they're born, but when they're little kids, not just training one aspect, not just training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like if they're from Brazil, I guess, but it's not even just training just wrestling or just boxing, and then when they're 18 out of high school, transitioning over to do, say they're doing boxing, to do wrestling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai, but they're doing these the whole time. Their parents are like, hey, let's do this. You can make a career out of this. It matters so much if you're doing this from when you're young. That's why these Dagestani wrestlers are so good at that one aspect from doing sambo or whatever, or just wrestling from such a young age, or these Brazilians doing jiu-jitsu from such a young age. It does matter, but if you can be doing all the aspects of MMA from such a young age, it makes such a difference. Austin Bash, he fought a couple weeks ago. Is one of those kids that like he's been doing it damn near his whole life, and it shows. It's gonna come around more and more, and we're gonna see more guys from America. I do think in the future it's been on the decline now of Americans near the top for maybe 5 years ish. I don't know exactly how long it's been declining, but it's been slimming down. You don't see these. We have, like I said before, we have no American champions at the top, but I think it'll take a turn. I have high hopes for it. I think people are seeing it as an avenue, especially if you can market yourself. There is money to be made. But yeah, the biggest problem, in my opinion, truly is the fact that there's no direct path. Like I said, there was for NFL, like football, basketball, baseball. Without that, it just makes it so difficult to get these kids at a young age in there and competing in MMA. But yeah, let me know what you think if there's anything I missed. I think these are the three biggest things, but I really do think the one thing that is missed the most is that second thing. There's no direct path. It's not part of our culture like these other sports are. But yeah, let me know what you think. Drop a comment, subscribe, like, please. Thank you guys. got a week off of the UFC, but we got Dana White's Contender Series tomorrow and some other college football is back if you like that. So, but yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.